Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, A Wandering Dork with me, Daniel. It's Season 3, Episode 2, and today we kick off for the first time in the National League, just 4 tiers away from the Premier League now. We're starting to make our way up the English football pyramid. We start against a Bromley side that have been here a couple of years already, and have certainly got more experience at this level than us, and then we play against foes Dulwich Hamlet, who ran us very close for the title last year. They made it up in the playoffs in the end, and it'll be a good key battle at the bottom of the table. We're hoping to do well this year, and the media predicts us to do okay, and of course we've got a number of new signings to aid us. We talked about them and introduced them all in the last episode, as well as telling you all the players that went out of the club, so if you did miss that transfer special on Sunday, please do click back on the eye above to catch up. And then obviously a quick service announcement, we are on a new schedule now. It started yesterday as the head coach story returned for FM20, and now these two long-term stories will just rotate each day, so the head coach will be back tomorrow, and then Dorking back again on Thursday. But a big double-header to go through today, so not too much we're going to focus on off the pitch, but if you are enjoying the story and looking forward to another season, and this one at a higher level, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments where you think we're going to finish this year. Get your predictions in before we kick off. You've obviously seen all the players coming in and out of the club, so let me know how much you think they can achieve. If you're new to the channel and enjoying either one of the series, then please do subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content. There's certainly going to be plenty of drama from both, but this season it's all about surviving in the National League. Well, one thing we did promise we'd look at in the transfer special is show you where the media predicts us to finish this year. Of course, York have kicked off and already got 3 points in the bag, so one team we've got to catch already. Woking bottom, so we hope we won't be below them at the end of the day. If we finish the first 2 games above them, then we've certainly done something right to start with. So let's go and have a look at the season preview. The media remarkably predicts us to finish 7th. We were predicted 11th until about 2 weeks ago. We signed Matthew Smith, the central midfielder, that went straight up to 7th. And considering at the start of pre-season we were expected about 18th or 19th, it's a remarkable rise and suggests our signings might be very good, despite not having the best star ratings with our assistant. Of course we're going to bed them in gradually just to keep the morale high at the club. The dynamics are looking pretty good at the moment, although the team cohesion's very poor, and that's mainly because of so many new faces and a couple of slight changes to tactical roles. But we talked in detail about all of the new signings and everyone we wanted to introduce last time, so let's go and get straight into the first game of the season. It's always the most exciting day on the football calendar. It's Dorking v Bromley, so let's see how they got on the last couple of years. They've been up here for a few seasons now, so they finished 12th last year, mid-table exactly, 6th in the playoffs the year before, and then 12th again the year before, the last season in real life, so they've certainly been keeping up a very good record. It's going to be a difficult test for us, but I'm hoping we'll be able to achieve plenty. So let's go and get straight into the match and see if we can pull off an almighty shock. We've got one player suspended, Ollie O'Dwyer, of course was sent off on the last day of last season, and Ryan Dow's ineligible, he's just on trial, but may be joining the club pretty shortly. So we've gone for our same tactic in terms of formation, and the same mentality and instructions too, but we have adapted one of our central midfield roles. So with Matthew Smith joining, we've gone for a deep line playmaker on support, taking off that ball winner who kept getting sent off, and of course with Smith it allows us to play better football, so hopefully we'll be able to keep possession a bit better. We've got a few positions we'd like to gradually improve, and we've got some better players on the bench or in the reserves today, but we want to bed the new signings in individually rather than throwing them all in at once. So we've got Lomas coming in at centre half, as well as a new keeper Ramsbottom, Zamura at left back, we've got Smith in central midfield, and then Whittaker coming up front, making it 5 new starters today, and then there's at least 2 more on the bench, with Humphreys and Hondermark among the substitutes. We've got plenty in the reserves that could come in the future, so Jack Broom will potentially be the first choice right back. We've got a couple of others we'd like to get into, but the main news today is that there's 5 new debutants, and let's go through the 11 in full. We've got the new signing Ramsbottom in goal, Vaughan and Zamura the fullbacks, Harbottle and Lomas at centre half, Smith and Whelan in central midfield, and then Lopez and Giorgi on the wings, with Presley joined by Whittaker up front. So I was going to play Archer ahead of Whittaker, there's not too much between them actually, and I wanted to keep that partnership between the strikers, but Whittaker's been the best player in training for weeks, and Archer's barely been training well at all. So I've got to be fair to the lads and pick them on form and training performance, keep them morale high as well, and the only way to find out now is to get into the first game of the season and see what sort of a difference these lads can make. So let's go and get into it. What will the result be? Fingers crossed we'll be able to get at least a point. Well, here we go into the first game of the season. It's a 4-4-1-1 for the away side. Is that Rico Hackett-Fairchild up front? I've just got to go and check if it is. I think it is. He's been a brilliant player for us in past FMs. Off camera, I think it was FM20 I played with Basingstoke, and he took us up twice in 2 years. So a fond memory that, but the rest of the team's pretty unrecognisable. So we've got to go and get into the team talk and see if we can put on a display today. You can see at the end we've got one stand not there at the moment. A bit of renovation work going on at the ground. We briefly talked about that at the end of the last episode. We had to put in 500 more seats and standing room just to meet with National League compliance. So that's going to be done, and then a bit more's being done next summer, but it'll be open again in a few weeks' time. So as we encourage the lads, it shouldn't look like that for too long. Let's get into the first half on key highlights as always, and fingers crossed we'll be able to keep this Bromley side quiet. It's a throw on the left-hand side for Bromley on halfway. Almost got to the quarter of an hour mark without a shot. Neither side really caused any threat yet, but I'm hoping Bromley won't change that now. Lomas, the new signing, heads away to Georgie. Cutting in from the left-hand side today unusually. Spent most of last season on the right-hand side, but Richards isn't fit yet, and he's not quite good enough for this level anyway. We've got Lopez on the right wing, back on loan for a third year in a row. He finds Vaughan, who goes long over the top, but it's a poor aimless ball, and Vaughan has to head away again, though Bromley playing pretty direct as well. Lomas with a good strong header. Down to the deep line playmaker Smith, puts Presley in one-on-one at the other end. It's a good save by the Bromley keeper behind for a corner, but good to see the playmaker working early on. Here's a corner on the right which Georgie will take. There's a few in the middle if he can find them. Presley loses out and it falls for Whelan. He gets it back out to Georgie. Into Presley who heads wide, but the flag was already up for offside. Well, that was a dull first half of National League football. Probably not a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. We've kept Bromley very quiet, just that one shot on target. We've had the dominance in terms of the stats, and most importantly, we've kept in the game, and that's all we could have asked for at this early stage. A side that finished in the top half in each of the last 3 seasons. If we can keep them to a draw, then it means we'll probably stay up. But of course, we're going to have to do better over the year, and we need to have a bit more of a threat in front of goal. A bit worried that Whittaker's showing nerves already, as Lopez nicks the ball in the defensive right-hand side, and he's charging forward unopposed. The left back's out of position. Lopez is in one-on-one. Can he score? He slots it just wide to the side netting. May have been better trying to cut it back there, but a brilliant counter-attack and a break from our side, and hopefully we can cause that threat. What's gone on there? We've just come back at the end of a highlight and it says 1-0. I just want to go back to the start of that. Was anything happening? We can go and watch the game before the highlight. I'm not quite sure what led to the goal, but we didn't see much of it from that key highlight. So here's the ball at the back for Bromley. It's not come from a long ball, is it? He's put Rico Hackett-Fairchild in, and he's just going to shoot second time, is he? Into the corner, nothing the keeper can do, but what a bizarre way to see the highlight. Bromley not been a threat for much of the game, but with 10 minutes gone in the second half, we've been punished for a poor bit of defending. Nearly an hour gone, we've got to throw it right back with Vaughan. We have looked to threaten this game and had the only clear-cut chance. Presley holding it up on halfway. Can we create another? And more importantly, can we take this one? Great turn, Whittaker, he's in one-on-one, and he puts it into the back of the net. What a finish from the new centre-forward. Fantastic turn, he made it himself, though Presley held the ball up well to start with. Hopefully that's the start of a brilliant blossoming partnership, but we're back on level terms with an hour gone. Look who's come on for the away side. It's Dallin, the left winger. We spent most of last year trying to sign him. He eventually went to Bromley. We couldn't blame him, but hopefully now we can make that a mistake. A slight worry with 15 to go as Smith's picked up a knock, so we're going to bring on Hondermark, the new signing. A chance for him to slot straight in that position. Somewhere he's pretty comfortable anyway. And we've got 2 more subs which I don't know what to do with. We're going to take Presley off for Archer. Not sure if either of these can play as a target man. Whittaker's not awful there, neither is Archer. Which one's the taller and which one's better in the air? Archer's 180 centimetres. Awful jumping reach though. Whittaker slightly better and he's a good header of the ball, so he's going to go up front for the last 15 minutes. He'll be the target man with Archer on advance forward, and hopefully Archer will be a super sub off the bench. We've got one more sub to make and I think it will be Georgie. Tom Richards is on the bench to get fitness. Hopefully a natural effort can whip more crosses into the box, and for the last 10 that can cause an attacking threat. And more importantly, he's also a left back Richards, so he can be that defensive shield too, as we got to make sure we don't lose this point, as well as trying to go and chase a winner. But overall it wouldn't be a bad start to the National League, a really decent result at home, and against a side that have been in the top half of the league, it really would be a good stepping stone to the division. But hold that that thought as on the left hand side they come forward. Bromley trying to create a last gasp chance into Hackett, who's going to shoot. Good save by the new keeper. The flag was up for offside, but of course Ramsbottom wasn't to know that. We'll demand more with 3 minutes of stoppage time to go, but I think it's going to be seen out without incident. A really decent result, a decent performance too. We more than matched the side expected to finish top half, and I think 7th might be a little ambitious based on the media prediction, but of course that's a relatively solid start to the season. So we'll tell the lads there's positives just as David Murphy recommends, and we'll be back in a moment to see what the media said about the game. Well, a nice draw, comfortably in mid-table, just what the doctor ordered on the first day. Bromley hold out for a draw according to the media report, suggests that we were the slightly better side, but his Matthew Smith injury could be a bad one. 1 to 3 days, we'll take that all day long, and we'll give him a 1 day rest from training as well, on the hope that he might be fit for midweek. We face Dulwich Hamlet in 3 days' time. Whittaker will be confident having scored on his debut, and Kaleba we offered out on loan in the last episode. He's got 2 offers to go to the division below. So we'll accept those and we'll skip forward 3 days, and we'll be back in a moment to face the old foe Dulwich Hamlet. Well, we're back for the second game against Dulwich today. It doesn't look like Matthew Smith's quite going to be fit. He's not quite fully fit and should be monitored. An 80% condition. If it was anyone else, I wouldn't even consider him. So I think away from home, we might have to give it a miss. Dulwich lost on the first day of the season. They were away from home against Kettering though. And this time we're going on the road for the first time. So it could be a rude awakening for us as well. Of course, they've got one player ineligible who's on trial. As of we, it's still Ryan Dow. But after a draw on the start of the season, we'll be hoping to get a win over this side today. Wrapped up the title there just a couple of episodes ago. A really brilliant moment in the series, and I'm hoping we'll be able to have another one today to really get going in this National League season. So Honda Mark's coming onto the bench for Smith. Everyone else is fit and will stay in the team, and I think Smith will have to come off the bench as well. Not sure who his replacement's going to be. We've got a few options, but I don't know which one of them's best. I think O'Dwyer back from injury can get in the squad. But aside from that, everyone did pretty well in the first game. I don't really want to punish anyone for their performance, so I think we're going to stick with the same 11 aside from that. Just the one change with Honda Mark coming in the middle. It's a shame Matt Smith isn't fit. He did have a brilliant first game, put a beautiful through ball in early in the game, but unfortunately he doesn't quite make it, though of course he'll be back at home at the weekend. So let's go and get into the second game away. We've always had brilliant encounters against these guys, so hopefully Dulwich Hamlet will put on a treat of a spectacle, and fingers crossed we'll still come out on top. Well, it's a 4-2-3-1 for Dulwich, and a few names in there we recognise from last year. Carline in the middle, Bolkaya on the left, so they haven't changed too much going out wide. Fingers crossed that means they'll be a bit weaker, though on the bench they've got the likes of Arlott John, who was a key player starting for them last season. Reynolds, the left back, would have started too, so maybe they have made a few upgrades, and perhaps we shouldn't get too complacent yet, as it's going to be a really tough test for us. If we lose this, it probably confirms a relegation battle this year, particularly until the young lads settle in. We've brought in a lot of new players again, and the team cohesion isn't great, and hopefully that won't show in this performance. An early cross into the box from the home side, which is brilliantly claimed from Ramsbottom, and it looks like Dulwich might be having work going on too. Maybe they don't meet the ground requirements either. So long ball forward to Giorgi on the left, pinpoint accuracy from the keeper. Whittaker brings it down, it deflects straight to Giorgi. His shot hits the far post. It was a great effort and he's cleared away for a throw. First blood was almost there for Dorking. We're back just a minute later, a corner for us on the right. We have lost a bit of that aerial presence. The target man Presley's still there and he flicks it on for the goal. Lopez just lurking at the back stick. So often did it last year, occasionally offside, but this time he thunders it in from 2 yards and we have an early lead away at Dulwich. We did miss the height of O'Dwyer, but it didn't matter while Presley was there, and we've now got one of their centre halves on a booking too, as well as a free kick in a very dangerous position. Giorgi will take, he scored a couple last season. This one's into the corner as well. 7 minutes gone, we lead 2-0, and maybe we are going to have a good season. What a fantastic start to the match, and this shows that we might not be a relegation threatened side. Well, we're back just a minute later again. Hopefully it'll lead to another attack. Honda Mark, the new signing in the playmaker role. Back to Lomez, who clears long. Whittaker's chasing, but he's not the favourite to get there. And in the end, Dulwich are able to clear on the right. Long ball forward down the flank to the striker. And Gesson making the run from midfield in the end. He's got time on the right, though we are closing down. Honda Mark manages to nick it. It's given away to Chapman, though, and he finds Carline. Superstar for them last year. And he's trying to create again, but Whelan nicks it high. And he's put in Presley at the end. The centre centre-half's caught him, so he might have to hold it up. Hopefully he'll get support soon. We've got 3 thundering into the box. Lopez is 1. Back to Hondermark, who scores. And he scored on his debut, making it 3-0 in 9 minutes. This is a wonderful dream start away from home. And what a fantastic first 10 minutes it's been. Tell me if you've had a better 10 minutes than this, because I think this will take something special to top it. Well, 5 minutes to the break. It's really quietened down since those goals. It's a Dulwich corner which is bobbling around. Eventually White shoots as he's knocked down 6 yards out, but he puts it wide into the side netting. We're back with a free kick for Zamora, just inside our own half at left back. He finds Hondermark, who's into that playmaker role. Lovely through ball for Whittaker. I think he might have been off, but the left back potentially played him on. Though a free kick is eventually awarded. We were right first time, he was offside. Dulwich with a throw at right back though. We continue to dominate this game, but they're bringing it down the right unopposed now, and maybe they'll create a chance for a first goal. White inside to Evans. He's holding it up well and he's forced the centre half out wide. It goes wide to Taiwo, who's going to try and deliver. Beats the man very easily. Into Evans, who's missed a sitter. It's gone comfortably over the crossbar. Ramsbottom will take it. A weird spell of half an hour with no highlights and 3 or 4 either side of it. We're not complaining as long as we score again. Zamora goes long down the left flank. Giorgi's chasing, but he's not going to get there. White playing dangerously in his own area. Nakov, the goalkeeper, with the ball. He's got plenty of options short. One of them the centre half, who gets it wide to the right back as Dulwich trying to build out from defensive areas. They go long down that right flank. Zamora intercepts. Simple pass out to Giorgi. And we've now got 3 or 4 running off him as well. Though unfortunately he's given it away. Back to the right back, who goes long. Harbottle hoofs it over the top. He's gone straight to Presley, who's got there unmarked. Shoots from the edge just over. And at half time it's probably just going to be 3. But I certainly wouldn't complain about that at the start. A brilliant first 10 minutes which has absolutely blitzed the home side. And we can relax at half time knowing the game's almost won, barring a disastrous second half performance. Let's go and talk to the lads. David Murphy's spot on. We've got to tell him it was excellent. We'll ask them to keep it up and hope they will. I love a 45 minutes like that, and I might end the episode talking about promotion. Zamura at left back throws into the playmaker. Good ball out to Giorgi. A little bit deep. We don't want to play too much back there. Zamura gives it away. It's an awful pass into Evans and back to Bolkaya. Shoots and it's in, and we've caused our own downfall there. An awful mistake by the new left back. He was the best rated player of all of our signings. Had a couple of poor games so far, and that is really a stupid way to concede a goal and allow the home side a glimmer of hope. Vaughan throws it in at right back to Lopez. Can we rectify it straight away though? We'd love to get our 3-goal lead back and especially not concede again, as it'll be a very nervy second half if we do so. But here comes Bolkaya on the left. He's taking on Vaughan. Whelan intercepts. He's giving it away too. Oh, you're joking. From the edge of the box, we've given it away twice, and we've handed them 2 goals to start the half. We're going to tell the lads to concentrate. What a pathetic start to the second half. We've gifted 2 goals with awful passes, and we're leading to our own downfall here. But we've managed to nick the ball high up with Whittaker. He's in 1-on-1 now. 2 sides making tons of mistakes, though Whittaker's shot's brilliantly saved. It's out for a corner, which will be swung in by Giorgi. Hopefully we'll be able to restore a 2-goal lead. Giorgi to deliver to the front post. Carline heads away, but only as far as the winger. Taiwo gets there first and clears though, and is out for a throw-in on halfway. Dulwich haven't had a clear-cut chance in this match, but they don't need to if we keep giving them the ball on the edge. 2 goals and it's now a very tense encounter. Really didn't need to be based on the first half. An hour gone, we'll think about subs in a moment. The left back certainly got to be one of the candidates. So 25 minutes to go. I think we need to get experience on. Richards on at left back for Zamora. He's had an absolutely woeful start at the club. Whelan will be replaced by Jake Gallagher. He's going to go into his ball-winning midfielder role. Whittaker's not had the best game up front either, so we'll renew the partnership between Presley and Archer. And we've just got to hope for the last quarter we don't do anything else silly in possession. We're trying to play around at the back. I don't know why. We haven't asked the lads to play any shorter. We want them to get it forward relatively quickly, but on this occasion they've decided not to. Just 10 minutes left and it has calmed down now though, so fingers crossed we can hold on for a crucial 3 points. Well, no more highlights and we're at 4 minutes of stoppage time now, so let's go and time waste all the time. Slow the pace down and just hope we can hang on here. There's no need for us to do anything silly. We're going to ask the lads to go more direct as well. We don't want them to play around with it at the back, so fingers crossed they'll just go and hoof it long and get the ball away from the danger zone. Into 4 minutes and it's Ramsbottom with a goal kick. Hopefully it goes as long as it possibly can. He's taking as long as possible as well, something we certainly appreciate. The long ball forward towards the target man Presley, loses out in the air but it falls for Lopez. Archer back to Gallagher in central midfield. He pushed Giorgi in 1-on-1. Shot saved. He could have just laid it off, but it's behind for a corner kick. Another chance for us to score. Giorgi will take it, another in-swinger from that left-hand side. Hopefully he'll be able to find one of those big men. There's 2 or 3 of them at the front post. Lomas and Presley both hovering, so we only find one of their heads. Lomas gets there, but he's straight at the keeper. A pretty tame effort in the end. Just 2 more minutes of stoppage time to go. I think they're going to be up. We nick it 3-2, a comfortable victory, despite gifting Dulwich Hamlet 2 goals. Aside from that, there was no danger whatsoever. It was a really strong first half performance. The first 10 minutes I certainly won't forget in a hurry, and the experienced boys came on and played their part, and we'll tell the lads it was a Jekyll and Hyde performance, because in the second half they really weren't very good at all. A bit of a concern about the left back Zamura, on paper the best player but performing really poorly. Maybe we put him more attacking into his favoured role. It's something we talked about in the end of season review, and it looks like it might be crucial to his performances. But overall, we certainly can't complain about these 2 games. We're in the top 7 after the first 2 matches. We win away from home against our promotion rivals last year after a strong performance against Bromley on the first day. And fingers crossed we can keep that up for the season. It'll certainly be an entertaining one if we can. Another good game on the road, although it says we're fortunate to beat them. I think that's just because they have more possession and shots, but we could have had plenty of shots from distance too. Doesn't mean it's going to lead to any more goals. So of course a really strong start to the season, and we've still got some good first team players to bring into the side. We're going to gradually bed them in as planned, though Hondermark may have made his mark today, so he could be joining Smith in central midfield. Maybe it might be Tom Whelan's time to step out. He made the error for the second goal today, so certainly not in the good books after that one, but we've really got a concern at left back again. I really thought we'd solved that problem for now. But let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we might next be back. I do want to leave it a little while if possible, try and settle into the season, bed all these players in, and maybe come back in 6 weeks or so when hopefully we've got to our strongest 11. So I can see the game that stands out already. Swindon at the start of October, gotta be the favourites for the league this season. Down from League 2, a really big surprise. Let's see what they're rated for the year. They're predicted to finish 10th, that's a bit of a surprise to me. I would have thought they would be a massive team. How did they do in their first 2 games? They're down in 10th place to be fair to them. Won 1 and lost 1, who did they lose against? They lost at Torquay away from home. They're a big side, so that's certainly not a judgment of their season. I think they'll still be up there come the end. So we'll show the Sutton game before it, and then the Swindon game as part of a double header, and then hopefully we'll get a big first round FA Cup tie, and we'll be able to come back for another game against an EFL side. But if you did enjoy this episode and that really good start to the National League season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. We'll put the table up because it might be the only time we're in the playoffs this year, so let's celebrate it while it's there. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the new signings you saw, where else you think we can improve, and what do you think of my strongest 11 going forward, or do you think I should stick with the lads that served us well? Of course, if you haven't already, or you were too nervous to at the start, get your predictions in for where you think we'll finish. Of course, now you've seen us play a couple of games, you'll get a bit more of an indication of what we're like. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. Of course, we're on the new schedule now as the head coach started yesterday. If you missed episode 1, then go and catch up with that one. And in this Dorking Wanderers story every other day as well. Hopefully you'll continue to enjoy it as much as I am. There's also 2 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. They're on Tuesday and Saturday at midday. And if you missed the FM20 beta save with Luton Town, then do click back to catch up with that as well. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support of the series. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we try to settle into this new higher level.